everyone. Welcome to this Female Role Models interview. My name is Ruby, and I'm the founder of Mission MathMinds. Today, I'm joined by Charu. Charu, do you mind introducing yourself?
Of course. Hi, everyone. I'm Charu. I'm a first-year PhD student within the program in biomedical sciences at the University of Michigan, and I'm happy to be here to talk to you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much again for being here. We're so excited to hear your story. Do you mind talking a little bit about your field? I know you mentioned it, but just talking a little bit about more what that means.
Yeah, so I am currently pursuing a PhD doing research in the biological sciences, more focused on molecular and cellular mechanisms within disease. So it's more looking at how do diseases arise, what actually goes wrong within the body and the cells in the body, and how can we use that knowledge to further develop new therapeutics or drugs and vaccines and all of these kind of things that you're hearing about now, especially with COVID. A lot of the fundamental sciences is what I'm looking at studying.
Absolutely. And when did your passion for this field come to be? Was it a high school thing or even younger where you had a role model influence you?
I think actually wanting to pursue research did come to me later in life. The spark kind of started in high school during my 10th grade, but it really got developed and fully consolidated in undergrad. Growing up, I always wanted to be a pediatrician, but as I kind of grew older and learned more about the sciences through my teachers and professors, I realized there was a whole nother world that I could explore that brought me a lot more joy and excitement.
Awesome. And then within your high school journey, did you feel like there's any stereotypes that you dealt with being a female that was passionately involved in the STEM field or even actively looking to pursue a degree in STEM during high school?
I can't say that I personally felt any of these stereotypes. I think my high school demographic was very Asian and Indian centered, so I was always surrounded by very competitive individuals who had strong passions. A lot of my friends did pursue STEM related fields. So I honestly always felt like I had a community surrounding me. And so I can't really say that I dealt with some of the typical stereotypes that you hear of.
Right, that's great. And then moving to college, what was your major and did that change kind of, obviously in high school you had a passion for medicine, but since you did mention that research came to a little bit later, how did you navigate that in college?
Yeah, so when I started undergrad, I kind of wanted to pick a major that would allow me to kind of be in the middle of both medicine and research. So I ended up being a biochemistry major. And that allowed me to explore different, all sorts of sciences. So I had lots of chemistry courses, lots of biology courses, as well as a combination of the two in biochemistry. And I was able to join a lab during my undergrad, and that's really when it hit me that research is what I wanted to do and not so much the medicine side of things and working in the clinic. And definitely the classes that I took and the way that the courses were structured helped in further instigating that spark in me of wanting to kind of understand really what happens in the background of our body and the behind the scenes aspect of things.
Right, and so for your other classmates or peers that also major in biochemistry, can you talk a little bit about maybe if they went into a different field at the end of their journey and how that can be seen with the same major?
Absolutely. So one of my close friends, she is actually pursuing a degree in osteopathic medicine. So that's a DO. And then I have several friends who are also pursuing an MD degree, as well as PhDs like me. So the degree itself doesn't necessarily dictate what it is that you end up doing. It's what you kind of want to take out of the degree. So a lot of my friends who are pursuing MDs or DOs spend a lot of their time shadowing in the clinics, and some of them worked as EMTs within their program, which are, I think, emergency medicine trainings. And so it's just what you make of it. I spent the time working in the lab, they spent the time working in the clinic, and we're both kind of on our separate paths.
Right, right. And then moving to your current field, would you say it's male dominated? And what are some of the challenges you face, particularly in the lab?
I will say within my program itself, I wouldn't necessarily say it's male dominated. My cohort is primarily made up of women,
Yay.
as well as my program as a whole. But I think science in general is a very male dominated field. And challenges in the lab, I think that one that I think most women can kind of agree upon is the ability to be heard. Although I haven't necessarily felt that myself, I think there's this internalized difficulty in wanting to speak up or needing to speak up. And that's something that I personally am working towards getting better at, and just making sure that my voice is heard. And I know that the environments that I've been in thus far have all been very open and encouraging in having everyone's voices heard. So I've never felt put down because of it, but that's just almost an internalized struggle that I think a lot of women have dealt with.
For sure. And what would your advice be to other females, maybe students who are coming up to become researchers, to deal with that type of, I guess, stereotypes that happen? Maybe not in your lab, but other labs that you've noticed.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I would say is to find the people that you can open up to and like be comfortable with. It may not be within your lab or in your work environment. It might have to be someone externally, but find the people that you can kind of trust and just gain some validation from. Have people tell you that you are worthy of being there. And I think it's also important to kind of internalize those things as well. Know that you're worthy of being where you're at and that you deserve to be there. And I think that in and itself will give you the confidence boost that you might need.
Absolutely. Here at Mission Math Minds, we like to focus on building a community of female role models. Sounds like that having a female role model can be really inspiring and boost someone's confidence. For your life and your journey, are there any specific mentors or advisors that have acted as role models for you?
Definitely. I think my neuroscience professor from undergrad really was that person for me. She was my, she kept me grounded through my graduate school application process during my senior year, especially when I was having some difficult times. And she really just encouraged me and told me that I belonged and I was worthy and I was capable of pursuing what I wanted to pursue. And of course, outside of school, my mom has always been a big supporter of me, and she encouraged me to, again, pursue what I wanted to and never really held me back.
For sure. And what does a female role model mean to you generally?
I think it's someone that one, can look up to, and two, I feel that someone can be a role model to me when they've done something inspiring, or it's their life story has led them to where they are. And it's just, I think it's someone who can inspire me to be better and pursue what it is that I want to pursue. As well as it is not always possible, but especially when someone resembles you in either ethnicity or stage in life or in career paths, those female role models always tend to hit home the most, and I just feel more connected to them.
Awesome. And to the girls listening right now, they're middle or high school, what would you say in terms of why we should get more girls involved in the medical field?
I mean, I think it is an important field, and it is one that I think we can be very good at, just given our personalities and the way that we have a drive and passion for things, as well as a caring side to us and a nurturing side to us. And I just think that it's important to pursue whatever it is that you want to, and you shouldn't, pull yourself back from something just because it's not typical for a woman to do. I think it's important for us to fight those stereotypes that are that I think in today's day and age is, we're not hearing so much of those stereotypes anymore, but I do still think it's important for us to pursue what it is that we want to, and know that we are capable and can do what we set our minds to.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Charu, for joining us today. I'm sure a lot of students have learned a lot about from your journey and what they can see in their future. So thank you again.
Of course. Thank you for having me.